welcome financial professionals. My name is Josh Meester, Regional Vice President Partner here at E4, and I'm joined once again by Doug Twiddy, our Director of Annuities, welcoming you to the Brew, building relationships every week. Thank you for tuning in, and for those joining the Brew for the first time, we always start with the National Day. We only have two today. First one is National Say Hi Day. So hi, Doug, and hi to anyone
Josh.
listening. It's an easy one. And then one other one is National Corn on the Cob Day. Little backstory to my upbringing. My family's from South Dakota, farmers. No lie, I probably could eat 20 to 25 ears of corn back in the day. Good fond memory from my past. Need to maybe stop by the store on the way home. I think I saw some fresh corn last time I was there. But in June, we continue our focus on annuities. It is Annuity Awareness Month. Today, Doug and I will be discussing our solutions for the uninsurable clients by utilizing specific features in our annuity portfolio. We find that many resort to MYGAs in these situations, multi-year guaranteed annuities. We're going to examine the options to achieve the best outcome for your clients. So thank you for joining us today. So Doug, going to kind of plug and tee up what we call our ASW Annuity Solutions Weekly. Goes out every Monday afternoon. It's a great piece. If you aren't aware of it, or if you're not seeing it, I should say, reach out to your regional vice president at E4. We can get you on that list. Make sure you're on our distribution. But again, this is something that highlights annuities from MYGAs to FIAs to income, and kind of what we're going to focus a little bit of time on today, enhanced death benefits for clients that are looking to maximize their wealth transfer when it comes to annuities versus, call it, life insurance. It's a great piece. Doug's going to run through it here. Doug, if you could just share your screen. Doug updates this every single week, works with our great marketing team, Jesse and Sydney. So these numbers are relevant each and every week. And we've found that advisors consistently looking at this not only are staying top of mind with rates, but we do have this broken out nicely into kind of categories, which Doug, if you could run through that would be great.
Yeah. So first I want to back up and make sure that everybody has seen our website, because there's lots of other great resources also available. But from our website on the dashboard, this box for annuities and annuity rate watch, if you click on Annuity Solutions Weekly, it will open up our brand folder in here, and then you can click Open Tab to open up the actual document itself. And as Josh said, this is updated every week. So something nice to have on your desk and in front of you to show you top MYGA rates, fixed indexed annuities, SPIAs, guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit riders and income options, long-term care, and then at the bottom, what we'll be discussing more today are the enhanced death benefits. As we've seen, most advisors, when they're dealing with someone that is older and is finding that they've got money that they realize they're not really going to need, and they are more interested in safely growing it, passing it to children. A lot of times they come in, they're asking for the highest MYGA rates, which you can find this also from our website as Annuity Rate Watch. And they're looking for the best guaranteed interest rate that's going to effectively grow that value at a very reasonable return. And they know exactly what they're going to have, which is a great option. But if you're not looking to grow it for the purposes of cash, you're not going to reach in and touch it. If the sole purpose is wealth transfer to pass it to your children, why not look at something that potentially gives a higher return, specifically for the purposes of death benefits? All right, so lots of options to go over. Just looking at the Annuity Solutions Weekly, starting at the top, Global Atlantic, great carrier for accumulation, great product. and they have the enhanced death benefit rider that you can add to that product. It gives you 7% simple interest, which of course 7% is higher than the MYGA rates that are available. And keep in mind, these are rates as of today. While these rates do change often, these rates do not change nearly as often. These have been this same setup for probably a couple of years.
They can,
with
though.
global,
They can.
yeah, they definitely can change. And because they're enhanced death benefits, obviously they can work very differently than a MYGA rate. A MYGA rate generally is a compounded interest rate credited to an account daily. And these enhanced death benefits can be a simple interest, compound interest. They can be credited annually, daily. They can be performance based, right? There are lots of different avenues to go. And then even more importantly, we've got to determine whether it's available as a lump sum or if they require it to be taken over at least 5 years in order to have that enhanced value. Now, sometimes you may not want it to go over a 5-year span, but sometimes that could be a good benefit, right? It could control the speed at which a beneficiary could spend the money. So with Global Atlantic, we can get a 7% guaranteed simple interest roll up for 15 years or until death, whichever comes first. And it is available as a lump sum if you want it that way. Max issue age is 80, which is pretty good. This particular product also comes with a 9.25 S&P cap or an 8% S&P trigger. So you have the potential to grow the account value even faster than the enhanced death benefit, but you're not reliant upon that indexed return to get that growth because we're guaranteeing at the very least a 7% simple interest roll-up. Now, where this product is unique, and we don't typically have this conversation, is if you're dealing with qualified money and you are at RMD years. As this is growing as kind of a benefit base, if you will, right? It's a fictitious number. You can't reach in and touch it. However, if you start taking distributions, if you start taking your RMDs, a lot of times that benefit base will decrease proportionately to your RMD. And in this case, that doesn't happen. They actually only lower it dollar for dollar. So as your account value is decreasing at, say 4.5%, 5%, the benefit base will also decrease by the exact same dollar amount, but you're still getting the 7% simple interest roll-up. So your account value is going down while the enhanced death benefit is actually increasing.
Going up.
So we could show you a scenario where you throw $100,000 in, and as that 100,000 decreases to say 30,000 because of RMDs, the enhanced death benefit grows to 130,000. That's a pretty powerful story when you look at it in the right way.
Yeah.
Outside of that, we do have other options. Josh, do you want to throw something in?
Oh, yeah, just real quick, and maybe this is a silly question, but you went over the beneficiary payouts, and so specifically to that Global Atlantic, the lump sum 5-year, and then lifetime. If it's a lifetime payout, who or how is that calculated? Is it in the person gone?
It's just an annuitization option for the beneficiary.
Okay.
So imagine rolling it to a SPIA in a sense.
Gotcha.
Same idea, except you get to go on whatever their rates are for that at the time.
Yeah,
sometimes people switch.
That's pretty strong. I mean, we're talking a little bit older clients, maybe uninsurable or just a tough underwriting sell. Again, a lot of the people listening to this call are familiar with the life insurance world, and that's maybe where they're looking for that client, 75, 80, want to leave my kids, grandkids money. We all get excited about those cases because sometimes they're bigger premiums, etc. But I'm just staring at that no underwriting at the top there. That is key because we've all been in the mix with those nice cases, and 3 months passes, and ultimately the shoe drops, and it's either a highly rated case that turns out not to be the leverage we need or they want, or a decline. So at the end of the day, we really want people to remember that there are annuity solutions for those clients. And just kind of backing up, I know Doug talked about MYGAs, and we even said some people revert to it. You'll obviously notice the max issue ages here, 80, 79, 80, 75. There still are cases where MYGAs maybe is the solution, considering we have MYGAs that issue up to 90, I want to say even 100, I believe, Doug, at Gilco. So we don't want to discourage people from MYGAs or not think about MYGAs for those older, uninsurable, unhealthy. But for somebody in their 70s to 80s, somewhat healthy or actually very healthy, that have that time horizon and can really take, I guess, advantage of these 15-year roll-up periods and enhanced death benefits, it's definitely a solution that I think we need to pay a little bit more attention to. Hand up, every time I hear an idea, it's like, why in the world am I not selling more of that? But ultimately, that's why we do this brew every single week and try to bring you guys new ideas.
If the point is to provide a certain value to the client, let's do it in the most efficient way possible. Right. Absolutely. So if a MYGA is the case, then that's great. If not, that's what we're here for, is to provide other ideas. I want to roll through a couple of other ones real quick, not quite as detailed as the Global Atlantic one, but the North American Benefit Solution 10, several of you are probably familiar with that product for income purposes, right? It is an income annuity. It does have the long-term care doubler available on it, but the benefit base provided inside of that annuity can also be used as an enhanced death benefit. So with this particular product, it gives you a 20% bump on day one. And then in year 6, it jumps to 150% of the premium. And at year 11, it jumps to 180% of the premium. And that value is available after 1 or 2 years after issue, depending on the state you're in. It's available as a death benefit as long as it is taken over 5 years or more. Right? But max issue age is 79. The Allianz Benefit Control, a little bit different. That's a performance-based option. So it does give you a 20% bonus or 25% bonus on day one. That's a pretty nice bump. And then after that, you get to choose. It says 150% index here, but you do get to choose how you want the benefit base to grow. The benefit base can grow at 250% of whatever the interest credited to the account is, or it can grow at 150. If it grows at 150%, you get full credit to the account value. If you want the amplified 250% credit, you're only going to get 50% credit to the account value. So you've got to pay attention there, because the enhanced death benefit option of it can never be higher than 250% of whatever the account value is. So if we're slowly growing the account value, eventually we could very easily tap out at a max for the death benefit. So of course, then it's, well, what options do we have for interest? It comes with an S&P cap of 2.25, which could of course give 13%. Or it does have a fixed rate right now of 2.8, which means that you could at the very least grow it by an additional 7% on that first year. Max issue age is 80, and it's payable over 5 years or more. So no lump sum. I'm going to skip over the Estate Shield. That's got a pretty long waiting period on it. But American Equity, which is that last option, they do have the Asset Shield bonus. So now we're kind of moving away from your typical enhanced death benefits. This is just what other ideas do we have of ways to provide enhanced value, right? So we talked about a 20% bonus on day one and a 25% bonus on day one. Those aren't premium dollars. That's a benefit base, fictitious value, death benefit. But the Asset Shield with American Equity, Asset Shield bonus, comes with a 23% premium bonus. That's real cash. That's money in the account value. Of course, there's a vesting schedule to it if you wanted to touch it, but it is fully vested on day one for the purposes of death. So
Okay.
throw in 100,000, turns into 123,000 immediately. Pass away very shortly after, and that passes to a beneficiary. Max issue age is 80. That's a pretty good option.
Okay. And if I heard you right, Doug, and I'm pretty familiar with the benefit solutions, but you had mentioned that there is an income rider that's on there. I mean, the amount of times we kind of get the advisors saying, here's my client, they want A, B, C, and D. It's what product can do everything. And as we all know, if a product does everything, it probably doesn't do anything the best. But just hearing your description of the benefit solutions, it seems to me that kind of could fit the bill for that client who's maybe on the fence. Do I or do I not need income? I like the idea of enhanced death benefit. Would you agree that's maybe one of our stronger ones, kind of Swiss Army knife, I guess, per se, from the annuity solution product?
Yeah, so a lot of times when we have conversations about providing lifetime income, sometimes we'll take the second highest income or the third highest income option because it's a much better fixed indexed annuity, right? It provides better rates, better options for interest credited to the account, which ultimately provides a better possibility of wealth transfer, right? We have that conversation. But with a benefit solution, we don't have to worry about the interest credited to the account. We know exactly what that guaranteed bonus is going to be at any given time. And if you start taking some income and you pass away prematurely, whatever's left inside that benefit base is the death benefit, right? As long as they take it over 5 years, of course.
Yep. Perfect.
Two other products that are interesting. One is interesting because of the size of the premium bonus. We just talked about the Asset Shield bonus, which was a 23% premium bonus. But the North American's Charter Plus 14, yes, it is a 14-year surrender charge. So warning there. Max age is 75, so we're going down a little bit. But it can give, if you attach the premium enhancement to it, it can give a 27% premium bonus on day one. And that premium bonus is fully vested day one for the purposes of death. And uniquely, if the money is joint owned, that death benefit can pay out, if they want it to, can pay out upon the first owner's death.
Oh,
so husband and wife jointly owned old non-qualified annuity, move it to Charter Plus 14, get a 27% bump on day one. One of them passes away the next year. The surviving spouse could take that money free of surrender, free of penalty, without worry about vesting schedule, get the full 127% and walk away if they want, right? They get to make the choice. They could keep it.
It's an option
as well.
Everybody likes options.
Everybody likes options. The last one is Global Atlantic, same as we did with the first one. It's actually the same product, but we're not attaching the enhanced death benefit. This one is unique because max issue age is 85, right? I know on our sheet it says 80. It's max issue age 80 here because of the enhanced death benefit. But if we're above 80, we don't really have options for enhanced death benefits. So we can do the premium enhancement bonus to that same for accumulation, which is 14%, right? Guaranteed on day one, fully vested for the purposes of death. And with the premium enhancement, it does lower some of the indexed and rate options. So we have a 3% fixed rate today, of course, right? 5.75 S&P cap and a 5% S&P trigger. So you can get the 14% premium bonus attached to 3% fixed to it, which credits daily, and ultimately end up with 17% by the end of the first year with issue ages up to 85, right? And then, of course, as we always do, any client that you're not quite sure where to go, reach out. Things are always changing, right? New products are coming out, new riders, features, bonuses and whatnot are changing. So we can almost always find a scenario of some sort. Just got to reach out and let's have a conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even coming into this brew, I don't even know if I realized. I know we're looking at the ASW with 4 options there, and then of course Doug has even more just behind the scenes. So at the end of the day, the solutions are plenty over here. Don't hesitate to reach out to your RVP, Doug, Daniel on our team. We're all here to help, so don't hesitate. So as we wrap up today, I'd just like to remind you that today's brew is recorded and our entire library is out on our site, www.e4.insurance. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, where we put up all of our brewcasts, which are released every Wednesday. Next week, the brew will be released at 10 a.m. Central. Doug and I will be joined by Casey Lane, Sales Vice President at North American, and we will be discussing the underutilized WARN, W-A-R-N, Act with your existing clients for their 401k opportunities. So thank you, everyone, for being here and listening. We'll see you next week on The Brew.